do is another adjustment. Huh? Oh, well, fine. There it is. This one over here. There we go. All right, warming up, 8:59. We're going to go here in about a minute. And I just caught a fish. So I got to bait my hook up. Hi, everybody. Whoa, there's a fish on it again. One line down. Trying to bait the other hook, and I've got my minnows in a terrible spot. Troubles to start things off, huh? Welcome to live chat. Okay, hi everybody. Morning, Molson 54. Clausiana. Oh, I got a fish on this one. See it? Christ's sakes. Ryan, good morning. Jeremy. Huh. Wow, bad day to be a fish. Well, yeah, okay. So I'm reading the comments. People are coming in. I know you can't see those. I guess that'd be something I would say to have be a thing where you people watching could see the comments too. But if there's a button to push to do that, I don't know where it is. I've got my other line baited now. Look, there's a fish coming up right away already. He is not a big fish, but okay, well, I'll just go down to the bottom. Maybe he'll go away. 9:01. See, now I'm late. Trying to get both lines down. Are you going to get him today? You bet I am, Craig. I hope. Morning, Steve. Oh, he's on this fish again. Jeez, come on, man. Can't you see I'm trying to do a show? Looks like nice. Well, oh man, these ones shooting around like this, they possibly are tulipies. Oh, we're gonna get to the live here, I promise. Soon. I lost my bait. That bait lasted what? A minute, maybe. I've got my minnows underneath the Mega Live, where I can't reach them very good. And if I get a big fish on now during this thing, we're going to be in trouble. So I'll be knocking over Mega Lives. Is this a dead one? Well, I hope not. I'm pretty sure it's dead. Okay, we're going to get a live minnow though. And I can't watch the comments for right now, but I will. Setup went pretty well today. I hope it's working for you. The more I do these things, the less surprised I am. 54 people out there already. Thank you. Good morning. Pink. Tungsten jig. All right. Blinking light. Hold still, buddy. I got started at about 7:45. And there was really nothing around for 20 minutes. Nothing. And that's odd. As well, this is going to be a great day to do a live when we're not seeing nothing or catching anything. But then in that first hour, I caught 5, all little, and probably lost 5 more minnows. All right. Hey, from Mayer, Minnesota, just west of the cities. Hey, how's the lake been? The lake's been wonderful. Okay. Conditions are splendid. Okay. Happy hump day. Haha, I get it. Good morning from Wisconsin. And good morning to you, Wisconsin. Okay. I have to keep doing this, though. They could change that. So we're 4 minutes in. Hi, everybody. 9:03. I am Kurt Quinnell. This is the Long Point area of Lake of the Woods. Wednesday. And like I said in the little Facebook post, that there's quite a bit to talk about. I don't know how long it's going to take. If you have a question and you're watching this thing live, go ahead, type it in. I'll keep track of it and I'll try to answer, okay? The lake is wonderful. Now I'm sitting here in my hot spot, which is I've probably been here more than anywhere else that I've been, and I have moved all over. I moved all over. In fact, I could probably show you some of this on my depth finder, which we'll get to in a little bit. But for now, there is nobody in close to me. The fish coming from over here. Now my screen is bright orange down here, all right, and it looks yellow on my screen. I don't know why that is. Maybe it doesn't look that way where you are, but it looks to me. But it's bright orange, and there's a fish coming in from the right there. I had a big sturgeon come through here a little while ago. That was exciting, and probably a pretty decent sized pike not too long ago, and I was excited. But anyway, where I am now, there is nobody. Well, I didn't fish the last 2 days, all right? And the first thing I noticed when I came out this morning is there's way, way less people than were here last week. Most of the wheelhouses are gone. I would say everyone else that's got wheelhouses out here are going to get them out of here this weekend. It's going to be in the 40s today, in the 40s tomorrow, in the 40s Friday, and then nice into the weekend. Now, what happens at the end is it gets warm and the access points go bad. You can still fish a lot. That's why you can fish in a snowmobile or a Ranger or an ATV after the access is closed. But the access gets so beat up that you can't get a truck or pull a wheelhouse or a fish house on with you. And getting off is kind of an issue. None of that's happening now. But I would say with 3 days of weather in the 40s, it sure could, especially if it gets really busy. People up here coming to get their houses off. That'll beat up those entry points a lot. Okay, as far as what I know, Wigwam posted this morning on Facebook that the 22nd of March they were going to close it off. They're pulling all their houses off. They'll be done fishing on the 22nd. Now I don't know what that means to their road. They're not going to maintain it anymore, but I'm sure if you're on a light rig, a snowmobile, an ATV, or a side-by-side, you could probably still get out there, but talk to them about that. Now, here at Long Point, they're out plowing this morning. We got an inch of snow last night, and they're just out cleaning things up. They've got a road here all the way out, at least they did last week, had a road all the way out to Lems Reef, which is 3 miles out, which is a long way for here at Long Point. Some of the roads on the east side and the boys at Swift Ditch, they're plowing way out into the lake. Well, at Long Point, they don't do that. They don't have to do that. It's not a crazy busy place, which I kind of love. It's busy enough, but they've got a good enough variety of bottoms and contours and lake conditions that they don't have to go real far, which is awesome for me. So I would imagine that going into this weekend, we got 90 people watching already. Well, I got to do this. I'm sorry. Okay. People aren't adding anything, but I've got 90 people. Good morning. I thought interest would be waning out here because I wondered about doing this. Earlier in the season, I'm doing 2 videos a week. Well, I could show you the same video from the last 3 weeks. And if I made a new one, it'd look just like the one I did before. Fishing hasn't changed. You catch fish all day, pretty much. A lot of them are little. You get a chance at some keepers, and you get a couple of chances at a nice one. And that's every day. Fish all day. Now, I fish for 3 hours in the morning, and that's it. The thing that has changed, and I did this last week. I'm going to keep doing this too. You've got a question, type it in there. Maybe I'm just going to answer all your questions just with my rabble here. Moved in shallow. Last week, I did a video from the in shallow. And here's what happened. And this is kind of why I don't do that very much. I was out getting shallow for the evening bite. All right, so I come out at 4, and you sit there for 2 hours, an hour and a half, and there's not much going on. You might get lucky if your lines are in the water. Something might happen, but not a lot goes on. Suddenly at 6 o'clock, someone flicks that light switch, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 fish everywhere. Walleyes coming in, hitting your bait. That lasts for anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. And then it's done. So, and heck, we caught 3 nice keeper walleyes the first night we were out in that time. But we started at right at 6. And by 20 to 7, there was nothing. It was done, done, done. Now, that's not the way it always is, because some nights you go out and you don't get anything. You don't see anything, you see a flicker, and then it's over. And some nights it lasts for a while. So for someone who fishes like I do, where I come out in the morning and then that's pretty much it, I'd have to go back out for the evening bite, and I did that for a couple of times. So that was fine. And when I came out this morning in the shallower water at Long Point, where there was one house last week, there's 4 houses in there, and probably 20 to 23 right up against the rocks on South Shore, South Long Point Reef. That's where those guys are sitting. And I had a friend of mine who came up. Heck, I think he went home yesterday or the day before, and they spent their whole time in there. He said during the day, he goes, there wasn't anything. But first thing in the morning, I was really early, and then into the evening, he goes, it was good. Heck, we caught big fish, we caught little fish, we caught every fish in between. So it was very good, but that's what they were doing. So people talk about that all year. I would say, especially this time of year, it's pretty, oh, you know what I've got to do? This. Sure. All right, Jeff in St. Louis. I forgot. I'm still learning. You mentioned our minnows were too big when we wanted to give you some bait. Can you discuss this? I will. How thick is the ice now? The ice is real thick. It's 3 feet or better. From Stacy, Minnesota. When do you think the first boat will be out of the river this year? I have no idea. They're starting to show they're starting to show up at Birchdale. I'm starting to see some stuff on Facebook. So heck, it could be any time. Watching from our hotel in Nashville. Going for pike next weekend by Spring Steel. Wow. Morning, Kurt. Gordy from Michigan. Hey, Gordy. And coming up Friday to fish and pull my wheelhouse on maybe Sunday or Monday. That would be a good plan, Ryan. If it's okay by Friday, it'll be okay through the weekend. But it's going to be warm, and after the weekend, you're not going to want them out here anymore. All right. People have been giving me minnows when they're done. Hey, I've had people stopping by the house steady. Please do that. I'd love to meet you guys. You see my silver house or my blue house with one of my rigs sitting by it. Come on in. You're invited. And these guys came by and they said, hey, you want our minnows? I said, yeah, I want your minnows. So, and they had some giant rainbows. And actually, I'd have took them. But what happens is, with my little minnow bucket, if I'd have put them in there, I think most of the minnows would have died before I even got to shore. But I use normal size minnows. The smallest minnow in the bucket works as good as the biggest one. But a guy gave me some minnows last week, and there was some big sucker minnows in there. Well, big. A couple of them died right away, but I put one on this morning. I put on a jig. I'll show you what I did. Because the minnows were too big to put on one of my little tungsten jigs. But I put on this jig a bit, all right? And I've got just a chub minnow on there now. But that hook is big enough for one of those. And I lost that minnow first thing. Before anything else happened, I lost that minnow. I don't use real big minnows. And only a fool gives up free minnows. So I felt kind of bad, but I was just surprised for it. You know, people bring their own minnows up here or get minnows to bring up, and sure, you can go ahead and do whatever you want, but it's really not necessary. Like I said, I haven't used a sucker minnow all year. I had this one on for 10 minutes and it was gone. So, but I was catching the other fish as we went. I just don't use big minnows. Like the little one's fine, so I'd imagine the big ones are too. I've got my holes are drilled very close together. This isn't a big house at all, and normally I can keep that couple of feet apart. If those holes are over 2 feet apart, I'm in good shape. But I screwed up when I drilled these, and they are maybe 1.5 feet apart. So every fish I catch is catching the other line. I don't know how that relates to my sucker minnow story. But hey, if you've got extra minnows, stop by. I'll take them. Okay? Minnow management is part of my daily routine. But I appreciate that. Come on, buddy. What's going on? Okay. Still on the edge of the mud. I'm coming up Friday. Oh, good morning from Mark in Osakis. Hey, Mark. On the edge of the mud, I'm in 30 feet different, and this is the contour line. I was reading online. Did I hear you say the road won't be good for wheelhouses after the weekend? Well, here, I don't want to get pinned down on this stuff. If it's 45 degrees today and 45 degrees tomorrow and 45 degrees on Friday, and then warm into the weekend, I would think you want to get your houses off by the weekend. All right. Next week is not going to be good. Now, am I the here-all, end-all on that? I'm not. So please don't say, did I hear you say we could catch as many fish as we wanted to and take them home regardless of the size? No, I'm just talking here and telling you what I know or what I think I know. Mike from Omaha. Hey, Mike. So what I am saying is, if you have a wheelhouse out here, you'd better get it off. And I don't care where it is, you'd better get it off. If it were mine, I'd take it off today or tomorrow. But if you can't make it here till the weekend, they've got things in good shape here at Long Point. Everything's going to be at every access point. It's going to be good, but it's going to get wet. All the snow on the lake, what's left is going to be gone, especially if the sun comes out for a little while. So it's going to be wet. It's going to be sloppy. The ice is still plenty good and thick, but it's not something it's not going to be your favorite thing to do. Get out of there. I don't want that. Come on, man. Okay. Sean from Wisconsin. Hey, man. Thanks for being here. 129 people. I thought, oh, no one's going to come and watch a live today because people don't care about ice fishing anymore. Here we are. Hey, good morning. And I'll probably say this a lot before we get done here today, is that we are nearing the end. Most of the outfitters, if not all, are starting to pull houses in. Maybe not all of it. If they've got people in it for the weekend, they'll leave those out. But anything that's not spoken for is going to come off. Notch, hey man, it's my favorite name, Notch Johnson. And I always enjoy you being here, Notch, okay? It's time to make your plans to get off. Now, after the weekend, next week, I might pull this in. The Silver Bullet House, I'll maybe fish in a portable next week. Get the Ranger back out. I'm always going to take the Ranger back out and put the track machine away, but then it snows or something or blows. Good morning from Hawley. Hey, Terry. Hawley, Minnesota. Hawley, okay? John, catch a hog today. That's my plan, man. I had some nice fish coming in. In fact, I'll swing this over. I'll let you watch what I'm watching for a while. So here's my mega live view, okay? You can see my lines are fairly close together, which is fine until you get a northern on. Okay, then they swim all over and you wind up with a big mess, which hopefully I won't do while we're live. Because I can untangle anything, but it doesn't happen fast, okay? Notice on the Mega Live up here, all right, that's where it says depth. These don't say depth unless you have them hooked up in your boat and hooked up to a regular depth finder transducer. I don't know why they did that. I've talked about it before, but they've got so much into these transducers now they could put that feature in there. It wouldn't break my heart. But that's fine. I don't know how deep it is over on this side right there. That says 30 feet. So that's where we're at. 30, 25, 20, 15. Then the rest is my zoom mode, so you can't see up that high. So I know how deep it is. It just doesn't have that thing. Okay, that's fine. A sure way to not catch any fish is to turn on a camera. But heck, in the 10 minutes before we went on, I was busy. Usually I'm monkeying with the phone to get the live on. And, here comes one. God dang it. Come on, man. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. Oh, turn around. Come on. He's going to bite. He's going to bite. Here he comes. It's right on it, not biting. Come on, buddy. Keep coming. Look at him. Look at him come. Seriously. He is all over it. Now this, oh, he was on it for a sec. Now see, I'm up at the top. I'm 15 feet down, and that fish is still there. I'm going to drop down and make him chase a little bit. See if he'll do that. Let's see if we get. Hey, Daniel. Good morning. There you go. How many? 134 people watching this fish not bite me? Here comes another one on the bottom. This one's bigger. Right there. Jeez, this one's biting. Oh, nuts. The little guy in the hole. It's big. Got him too. This one's a little bigger, but he got off there. He got off just before he came out of the water. Okay. Whew. It's called a double, my friends. Swim away, little buddy. And he's gone. Well, now they wonder, what should I do here? Telltale sign of a small sauger. Yep. Or a tulipy. Tulipies come racing in like they're all over. I'll just get these hooks baited and back in again. So I've caught maybe 10. All right. And then I haven't been here. All right, 7:40 to 8:40 is 1 hour to 9:20, an hour and a half, a little better than that. And between 9 and 10, it seemed like the best time for me anyway to do a live, because I've been here for a while, got a chance to set up. And at 11 o'clock, you can really hit a lull. So between 9 and 10, I would say is probably the best time for me anyway. Lean in here while I bait this hook. I haven't got very many minnows left, but well, come on. But I probably have enough to get through this morning. Hate to have 10 scoops of minnows in the bucket at this time, because there's not a lot of fishing left. If I get a couple more weeks, I'll be really happy. But as that warms up, my mind keeps drifting over to playing some disc golf anyway. So ooh, look at this guy. Okay, look at this guy. This one coming in from the side. Now he's not real big either, but he could get bigger. Fine, sit there then. We had a big run on tulipies for the last month out here. Last month and a half. Morning, Christy. Good morning to you. Great when they hit. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that guy's not going to do anything. Things get going pretty fast, especially if you start catching fish. Nice colors on the screen. Okay, because it looks more yellow to me, and it's bright orange. I'll maybe check this out later on my big TV. Would it be cool if you're watching this on your big TV at home? That would be the fun thing. When does disc golf season begin? April 16th? It'll be before April 16th. As soon as the snow is gone from that field in front of Long Point, I'll be out there. Okay, and I recommend it to everybody. Maybe we'll talk more about that later, but disc golf is coming. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Check in from Big Lake. Good morning, Kelly. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions, type them in there. I'll try to keep my eye on that as we go. But welcome. If you're new here, my name is Kurt Quinnell. I have the NCOR guide service on Lake of the Woods. I don't guide in the winter anymore because if it's cold, I'm not going fishing. Okay? Bill Vaughn wants to play some disc golf. Okay, man. I'll let you know. Long range forecast. Quit it now. Shows pretty cold temps. Please keep us posted how the access looks. Thanks, Kurt. Oh, thank you for saying that. I will, because if it's the first big changes would come this weekend after these days of really warm weather. We got more fish here. After these days of warm weather, that's when things could change. You know, at Long Point, if you've been here lately, you notice they bring in mountains of sawdust and put sawdust on their approach. Oh, fart. And put sawdust on their approach, and that really helps hold it together. The moisture is one of the things that really get. I just lost my bait. But that's one of the genius things that I think they do that I don't know who else does it or doesn't do it or where they got that idea, but it's a good thing that they do, and that really helps the access points. Now the hook is in my shoelace and won't come out. There we go. Oh, there's a fish coming up on my bait, and I'm baiting this hook. Come on, buddy. Come on. It's so warm in here, I'm putting my Big Buddy heater on pilot, mostly. And then they get a little bit cool. So every once in a while I got to put, if this guy would bite. Come on, man. Look a little better all the time. Boom, got him. Got him. Got him. And he is not very big. Fine. If he gets off, it won't break my heart. Resorts in Canada use sawdust to keep chunk of frozen ice in the summertime. Oh, yeah, they used to. Maybe that's where they got the idea. Now, I just lost that on this jigabit. I've got a big, I haven't got baits, no lines down. If I can catch one of those sucker minnows, okay, I'm going to put it on just to show you. You'd think this would weed out the smaller fish. This is a big sucker minnow. Look at that. Huh? Guy said the long-range forecast calls for cooler temps. Well, I wouldn't break my heart. Saturday, oh, South Haven. I got that big sucker minnow on now. I'm gonna let that hang down there, but it won't even. He's so big, he's swimming away. He's not even going down. What's going on? Here he is. Okay, here. If you need to strike some sort of deal for all your tulliby, if you don't want them. Well, you know, I've caught more tullibees this year than I've ever caught all together before that. That sucker will more than likely get tangled in your other line. Yeah, I know. I know. How many rods can you use in Minnesota? You can use 2 ice fishing. All right, I'm putting my other line just going down now. That's the little pink tungsten jig with the normal size minnow on it. I'm going to turn this on a little bit again. Okay. Both my lines are down there. You're going to hear all kinds of things this year, like every other year since history. My buddy was not catching any. Then he dropped to the bottom and said, you take the bob when laying on the bottom. Hey, I've noticed that too. I don't do that. Since I started using my helix in the old days, because I like to, the fish will come off the bottom to get those baits. They will. But I like to see them coming. And if your bait's on the bottom, that fish can sneak right in there. And you'll not see it. Over in North Dakota, we can run 4. You can run 2 ice fishing in Minnesota and 1 in the summertime. Thanks for the road. I'm 6 hours away. And you're the guy I rely on. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure. Hope to get up there once more anyway. If you're coming once more, well, look at. If you're coming once more and I figure you're going to drive a truck out here, and I don't care where you are, for safety's sake and for not wasting your trip's sake, get here this weekend. Because after the weekend, people will be fishing. The accesses aren't going to close. Ooh, look at this. Look at this guy coming in. What? He's all over that sucker minnow. No, I didn't lose my bait. He's still there. Man, I shouldn't have done that with the sucker minnow. See, he comes shooting. He's not a big fish, but he just came tearing in. We'll leave that up there. Well, no, not. That's what the tulipies do. They come ripping in. But I have a little mouth on a tulipy. I don't see how you get that sucker minnow in his face anyway. Wow. Yeah. The little saugers will rip around and tear like that, but kind of my tulipy trademark. Should be talking, but he bit. I wonder if he took my minnow. Nope. Okay, we're good. The legislature almost every year debates allowing more lines in the summertime, and they're doing that again this year. Nothing's been done. I doubt anything will be done. I guess I don't care one way or another. Many, many years ago, you could use 2 lines in the summertime here on Lake of the Woods as long as you were under power. So if people started trolling, they let you do that. It was a very short run. Then they didn't let you do it anymore. But 1 line in the summertime, 2 lines in the wintertime here in Minnesota. That probably won't change. But there's usually a bill they're trying to get introduced, or someone will introduce a bill saying 2 lines. It gets in the news, and then people say, oh, yeah, we got 2 lines. Well, we don't. Yet. It could happen. I don't think he got my minnow. It could happen anytime, but I don't think it will. This has been forever and ever and ever. Something in Minnesota legislature doesn't want you to have 2 lines. I don't care. If fish are biting, 2 lines is too many. So I'm not an advocate of either one. Fine, 2 lines. Okay, but geez, come on, man. I'm getting behind here. 2 summer, 4 in the winter. And they want you to get that walleye stamp that's been out for the last few years. That would be part of it. You'd get the walleye stamp, then you could use more lines. But bothers me about it when it happens. If you're all cranked up for it, it won't happen. Like figuring this year is the year for the Minnesota Vikings. This year is the year for 2 lines in the summer. Okay? So there, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. How deep are you? 30 feet. I've been shallower, I've been deeper, and I wind up back here in the hot spot, which is the best spot I've ever fished in my whole life. Here on Lake of the Woods or anywhere, it is an awesome spot. See, we don't have fish stamps. Is this the guy from Wisconsin again? No, North Dakota. Okay. Yeah, well, fishing limits, fishing rules and regulations go state to state. And I suppose that's the way it should be. So everyone's going to have different. Okay, we're not going to start talking about Vikings football here. That was just my analogy. Sports analogies are great in podcasts, I've heard. Been running around 30 feet over here, too. Okay. 30 feet's a nice depth. When I was out deeper, I've been out to 38 feet. So there's a lot of water out here this year. And when you're in the deep water, it was all tulipies. I was catching 8, 9, 10 tulipies a morning. And you'd put your lines down, and within a few minutes, boom, you'd have a bunch of fish right around your lines. Not 5 feet away, they'd zoom right in and just hang around. They wouldn't necessarily bite, but every once in a while, one would come and chomp you, and then you'd be going good. Going over to the Mississippi to pull 3 waves with floating wraps this weekend. It's a hoop. I'm sure you meant it's a hoot. I would probably like to do that. fish that Mississippi River. There's a ton of fish over there this time of the year, and it opens up. You're boat fishing. Suckers are legal in North Dakota this year. Oh, well, maybe illegal? Is that what they said? He said legal, but it might have been a typo. I didn't know that. But the Mississippi River, down Red Wing area, I think, if that's Pool 4, do you think they'll change the cost of fishing license for seniors? What, do you got to be 100 in Minnesota to get your free fishing license? It might be 95. No, they don't want you to have a free fishing license. And I don't see why they would, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Okay? Because I am now officially way a senior citizen. I would like to get a deal on my fishing license, please. And relax the limit for me. Not that I need that this year, but... And don't make me license my fish houses. Thank you. There we go. Greg, hey man. Thanks for being here. 155 people. And more fish going around here in this one. Oh, man. There's a lot of fish around. I'm losing a lot of minnows. And where I've got my minnow bucket is in the worst place for me to reach some minnows. Well, no, not the worst place, but not in the best place. How's that? 9:35. Had all the stuff I was going to tell you, but I think that basically it's going to get warm. And the resorts, anyone running fish houses now, is taking them off. They are taking them off this week. Again, they're probably taking off the ones that aren't booked for the weekend. If they're booked, they're gonna stay out there. But then after the weekend, there's not going to be much left. And by Sunday, the access points, I'm not going to say they're going to be terrible, but they're not going to be in perfect shape anymore. This is going to be a busy weekend here. Mike, that's North Dakota. Mike might have 12 inches of good ice there. Well, we've got a lot of ice here. Jared from Duluth, great fishing. Oh, next to you last week with my nephew. You're as nice in person. Catch me on a bad day. You know, and I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. If you're out here on Lake of the Woods fishing Long Point, and you see, do you have your eye on any new electronics? I'm on vacation in Palm Springs, but feel pangs of jealousy. Did Long Point start pulling houses yet? You know, I haven't been here out for a couple of days. I noticed that they have houses in Shallow that they didn't have before. These guys at Long Point, they're like magicians. They do a lot of their work at night in the dark. So suddenly you notice there's a new row of fish houses that wasn't there the day before. There's a lot of slush on top of the ice. There's not slush here. The things are really nice here. Now we're talking about three different things, aren't we? The ice is really nice here. There's no slop, no slush around, but that's going to change. 3 days of temperatures in the 40s. All right, it's going to do it. Guy said he's got a lifetime license. That's good. He said that for 15 years now. Well, yeah, a lifetime license costs, I think, quite a bit. But yeah, after 15 years, you're way ahead of the game. When you're in your 70s, maybe it's not the best idea anymore. Okay? A lot of granddads buy them for their grandkids. You know, that's a good idea. Until they move out of state and never come back. Got way more snow than us. We dodged that last storm that came through. We got an inch last night, got a couple inches a couple of days ago. The snow was almost gone, and then that last couple of flurries came through. And we've got some snow, but it's not a big issue. I could be driving the Ranger around out here now, but I kept the track machine because once you get off the road, there are some drifts, and there's places where fish houses used to be, and that can be kind of a mess. So I'm not going to get stuck out here if I can help it. If I'm driving my track machine, that's about all I can do to help it. Oop, Well, this is that little fish that's coming up on this big sucker minnow. So, there's the fish that just swam away. Here's my big sucker minnow. That fish isn't much bigger than that minnow. And the sucker minnow's still on there because I can feel the extra weight. We'll watch this for a while. I think maybe I got off topic. Surprise! Long Point started pulling their houses yet. If they have, it's not something I can notice. Come on! When they do start pulling houses, you'll hardly notice it because suddenly you'll just realize that they're gone. Oh man, another little guy coming up on my sucker minnow. Lost my other minnow. I've got some dead minnows in the bucket, and I don't want to put a dead minnow on a... Here we go. Come on. Caught in my shoelace again. Okay. Did I have any bites while I was gone? Did you see anything? There's the fish right underneath again, but he's not big. I'd like to see and share with you having a nice fish come through here. A big sturgeon is always fun to watch because they are enormous on the screen. And they're around. See, look at this guy right there. It's right underneath my baits again. I've dead minnow fish all the time. Depending on what you're targeting, they do work really well. 100%. Now, if I had a jigging spoon on here, which I probably should, I would use the dead minnows and pinch them off and just kind of use the head. But I know that fish love dead minnows. So even on a jig or on a plain hook, yeah, I might get to the dead minnows. But if there's a live one in there, I'm going to gravitate towards that one. Okay. Good point, though. Thank you. So is it 9:41? 40 minutes we've been going. Thanks for being here. If you're finding these later, well, this is kind of dumb to talk about. If you're finding these later and you want to get in on the lives and you can't for some reason, go to the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel. And if you don't know how to spell Kurt Quinnell, I understand, right? You can Google NCOR ice fishing videos, and that'll eventually get you to the YouTube page. When you're there, subscribe to the YouTube page and click that notification bell. Here comes a fish. That might be a nicer one. Click subscribe and hit the notification bell. Then when I'm doing a live or a new video comes out, what the heck? Come on, man. You get notified somehow. Yeah. Look at that fish. Isn't much bigger than that sucker minnow. Did better with frozen shiners on gold jigs and spoons. Well, I use frozen shiners all summer. I'm a huge fan of frozen shiners. In the wintertime, I use the live baits for a couple of reasons. If I've got the baits just hanging there, I like to have it wiggling around a little bit. Okay, and if I use frozen shiners, I'll use 5 frozen shiners. So you thaw out a whole bag of frozen shiners. And once you thaw out a bag of frozen shiners, I'm saying you might get away with freezing them and thawing them out once. You can't do it twice. So if you got to use the whole bag if you use any of them. So it just, I'm throwing away a lot of bags of frozen shiner. So that's why I don't use them. If I was fishing with maybe 4 or 5 other guys in the fish house or a couple of other guys, maybe you could use a bag of frozen shiners in a day. So that's why I don't use them. But frozen shiners are the preferred bait of walleyes on Lake of the Woods. 100%. Not positive, but I think you can set your Explorer to record your sonar and play it back later. Yes, you can. I was so excited about that because I think I've got a camera on my Explorer all the time. Now I can record it, so I did one day, and then I was going to put it into my video editing software, and of course it had no idea what format they used. Okay, what I could do is I could record it all, then run it back and record it live with the other with the video camera. But like everything else, it's complicated and more than I wanted to deal with. But yes, they could if they had it, so I could just take that card out and put it in my computer. I've got that fish coming on. That he's coming. Bite. Oh man, I lost him at 20 feet. He gave up. I'm going to try frozen shiners this summer. Can you troll with them? Well, I don't troll. Well, depends what you mean by troll. Look at the fish around here now. Holy cats. Now we're getting swarmed. I should almost check that shiner minnow, or that sucker minnow. Feels kind of funny. And heavy. I bet it's foul hooked somehow. Nope. It's a big minnow. Look at this. Long rods on the Mississippi down here in La Crosse, Wisconsin area till the snowstorm. Slow but fun. Hair jigs, bright colors. Thanks for the content. Well, thank you for being here. I fish with jigs all the time. And if you mean by trolling, edging along at a half mile an hour with your electric trolling motor, okay, then yeah, you can use a frozen shiner minnow with that. Okay. And anything with meat on it is what. Oh, sure, I've got a tangle. Anytime you have meat, you saw that fish going back to the bottom there? What's going on? Okay. So you can put a frozen shiner on a spinner. That'll work. But if you're going to use spinners, crawlers are good. Leeches are good. Live minnows are good. I have no idea where this bait is. Oh, here it comes. Okay. Yeah, exactly what I mean. Bottom bouncer in a spinner rig is our norm. Okay. You know, that's all I did. That's all I did for, well, 25 years was run a spinner. I ran a spinner from the first time we were on the water in the spring till the last time we were on the water in the fall. 100%. That's all I did. And one day I said, well, I guess I'm done pulling spinners. There must be another way. And we started using jigs. And jigs are awesome. You can sit still and use a jig, which is what I like to do. But, you know, spinner rig fishing on Lake of the Woods is legendary. So whatever you do, however you fish it, good luck to you. I would say challenge yourself once in a while. All right, do something different. Actually, we didn't always use bottom bouncers. We used those chain sinkers, you know, for a long time. About the time we got into bottom bouncing, I was on my way out of spinner fishing and heading towards jigs. Yeah, you can use frozen shiner minnows with that. Heck, let me tell you something else. You can use gulp with that. Get some, there's 3 and 4 inch, well, it's not just Berkeley. 100 people are making these things now. But they are, and you put them on with your spinner rig, they work great. And you're not using bait. You're not messing with bait. They're not liking the movement. That's kind of the way it is when fish is a little finicky. You move it and they take off. But these are little fish. I don't care if they take off. A real fish coming in will come in, zoom in on you, and smack you, no matter what you're doing. So when I see a fish, and this is, all right, just me, I'm not even saying it's right, but this is what I do. As soon as I see a fish, got my rod out of the rod holder in my hand, and as that fish gets closer, I just start lifting up the bait. Here, let me get back over to this side here. All right. You see the bait right there? As soon as I see a fish coming, I will lift that bait up. Just get them going. Because if the fish is locked in on you, moving that bait's going to get them excited, especially if they're a nicer fish, and they're going to come up and whack you. If they're a finicky little fish, you jiggle it like that, boom, they're going to take off. Well, that's fine. That's good. He doesn't have to make that quick trip topside and back down. Okay? My husband and I are booking a guided trip through this open water sea. Do you have the best time? We should book it with you. I'm guiding in May and June and September and October. And July and August are fine for fishing on Lake of the Woods, but I do these other things. For one, disc golf. Okay? And, geez, that fish is right on there. And for another thing, I'm in a lot of parades and stuff. And I'm cleaning the boat all the time. So last year is the first year I did it. I didn't book trips in July and August. And it was a way nicer deal for me. I've got to keep another minnow lost. I've got to keep everything clean, and it's kind of a weak excuse, but I'm an old guy and I'm trying to cut my schedule back a little bit. So that just made July and August wonderful, relaxing months instead of hustle and bustle months. But I book heavy in May and June and September and October. Now, May and June are awesome. Do saugers have to be left whole to be counted or be counted as walleyes? Thanks for all the info. Yeah. All right. Let me. My previous thought was May and June, September. May and June are awesome. September and October are just as good or even better. Problem with October, it kind of gets cold and it's a little windier in October. But fishing's close by. Fishing is awesome. So any of those 4 months is as good a fishing as you're going to get anywhere, not just on Lake of the Woods. Okay, now, do saugers have to be left whole? If you're transporting saugers home, yeah, you've got to have the head. You've got to have all the fins on it. Now, you can fillet the thing down, but just leave all the fillets hooked up at the end. You know what I mean? Or clean them when you get home. If you fish with me, and I think most of the other guides must do this, is I have a commercial fish packing license, and I clean the fish all the way down. Take them all the way down to fillets, and I package them up and I have my commercial fish packing license number on it, and I give you the bag I write on what's in the bag, and they'll go by what's in the bag. All right, you can look up commercial fish packing licenses. I just lost it a minute. Look up commercial fish packing licenses because you can get one. All right, but for the people that I fish with, at the end of the day, I clean the fish. Hang on, get another minute. I clean the fish and package them for transport, so you're fine that way. But if you don't have that, your saugers have to be pretty much whole to be counted as saugers. 100. So what time is it? I haven't even looked for a while. 53 minutes we've been going. All right. Well, hey, thanks for being here. I hope I'm answering your questions. If you have a question, hope I haven't missed it. We cast wraps into rushes, but my dad is kind of stuck on trolling. Hey, I know 100%. I do not cast wraps, all right? But I don't fish shallow. And I don't pull spinners anymore just because I'm not going to, but that's all we did. I think better bring you some of those minnows. When will you go live next? Mike just said 5 walleye limit in Minnesota. No, it's 5 walleye limit on Red Lake this year. 17 is the slide. You can have one fish over 17 inches on Red Lake. That's 5. Here, the limit's the same, as far as I know. It's 4 walleyes, 2 saugers, or 6 fish, as long as more than 4 of them are walleyes. You can have any combination as long as more than 4 of them are walleyes. You can have 6 on Lake of the Woods. Now, if you get around Minnesota, you get the 6 fish limit a lot. You get the 5. The big lakes all have their own limits. Check your regulation book or call ahead to where you're going. They'll tell you, boy, I'm losing minnows on this pink jig all the time. I think those are all dead. Come on, buddies. Yeah, this is looking good. One more good question that I have to answer. But thank you all for being here. This is fun. Oh, when am I going to do them live? Unknown. If I get out in the portable, that'll be fun. We'll do that. The biggest walleye I've caught summer and ice fishing 2 years ago on July 6th. And it seems like that first week in July is a big fish time because some of the biggest fish we caught in that week from June 26th to the early before the 4th of July, or right around the 4th of July. But I caught a 32.5-inch walleye, and it was the biggest walleye I've ever seen in real life. It was big, but it's kind of funny. Since then, everybody that I've talked to have all caught walleyes at least 32.5 or bigger. Okay. That's the way it goes. And I released the fish. I looked at it. If it had been 33 or 34, I'd have kept it. But like I said, I'm old. So if I were to mount a walleye right now, in 10 years when I was dead, the walleye would go into the trash. Okay. Good Lord. Thank God for the internet. Oh, yeah. I was going to say that. 29 is my biggest walleye over Streeter, North Dakota. Do you fish dice? I don't know what that means. Hopefully it's a typo. God, 57 minutes in. I probably caught a dozen fish 30 inches and over. Every year we get a couple of them. And by me, I would say that me and people fishing on my boat, if I catch a 30-incher, I'm pretty upset because I want the customer to catch a 30-incher. You need your gulp worm on that jig to hold the bait. Well, they're grabbing onto the minnow, and you set the hook, it pulls it off. On a jigging spoon, yeah, thank goodness you know about that. That's a great tip. Dice baits. I do not know what dice baits means. I'm sorry, I'll have to look for that later. When do houses have to be off Lake of the Woods? At the end of March, fish houses can't be on the lake overnight anymore. You can bring out your house in the day, but you got to pull it off every night, unless you're staying in it. If you're going to sleep out in your house, you can, in early April, still be out in a house. If you're staying on the ice for 4 or 5 days and you get a couple of nice fish the first day that you want to take home, can you at least gill and gut the fish to take home? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But they count as your limit for as long as they're in there. Vertical jigging with frozen shiners is all we do up there, and we get all we want. Steve Jarl, 100%. Now, that's what I say too. I jig, and we do great. Anchoring up, hitting the spot lock, jigging straight over the side of the boat. Boom, 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 boom. Fishing is great. Okay? But people who still fish spinners get out and they pull their spinners through the sand and over the rocks or whatever, and they do great. I like the jig fishing more. And I think if the people who fish spinners would fish with jigs, they'd quit. But that's just me. Oh, you're going to be around 10 years from now. Well, 10 years, but not 11. See? I've got 2 fish that I mounted. Heck, in 1981, I caught a 31.25-inch walleye and a 29-inch walleye. We were fishing over at Arneson's, and we caught them both the same morning. Kept them both, killed them both, mounted them both. In fact, we were off the water by 10 o'clock because the wind started blowing, and we had those 2 fish. We had over 20 pounds of walleyes on a stringer. That's how long ago it was. And we were blown off by 10. In my 14-foot Lund boat with my 20-horse Spirit motor. That's what we were fishing with on Lake of the Woods in 1981, 82. So it was, come on. I'd like a nice big fish to come by and get that one. Is it? It's been an hour now. Let's see. What do you like to use for Lakers up there? I have no idea. I've never fished for lake trout. I know what they use. They use those big hairy jigs, right? And get onto some deep water mostly and jig for them. I don't do that. Long time, I decided that I was going to fish walleyes and saugers, and here you get sturgeon, you get perch, you get crappies, and you get pike, all as a bonus when you're fishing. So I'm fishing for 5 or 6 species of fish, really. But yeah, I fished walleyes and saugers, and I fished with jigs, and that's pretty much it. I've got downriggers, I've got lead cord. I was doing, there we go, and I was doing that 3 years ago. I was still pulling lead, and with customers, unless they wanted to do it, unless they wanted to go out and troll, I probably wouldn't. I can do it. I can pull lead core. I can run a downrigger, and it's pretty good fishing on those August days when it's 85 degrees and there's no wind. That's a nice thing to do and a smart thing to do. But I've solved that problem by not fishing August. And in August, when the bugs are out, the flies are out, you get eaten alive every day, and I can tough that out for myself. But with customers, I just don't do it. How much longer are you going to fish today? It's 10 o'clock now. I'll probably fish until noon, probably, and then I'll go in. And the afternoons can be just as good. This has got to be really close to my 60th day ice fishing this winter. All right? I love fishing. But it gets to be a lot. So taking a shorter day, it's just fine. I can take a nap with my kitties on my lap, you know. Oh, no. Well, that minnow didn't last long. Well, here, let me switch this over. We're going to go for just a few more minutes. The fish here are steady, but nothing of consequence here. And with these lives, okay, this is a 1 hour, not congested. I don't take the best hour of my day. It is 1 hour of the day, and I've been getting bites and catching fish, but it could turn out to be the worst hour of the day. I haven't caught one that would keep yet. This fishing will get better. Nicer fish will come back around here after it warms up and all the houses are gone. Things settle down and things get better. Opening day, right where I'm sitting now, right here, if it's not nice and we're going to run around the lake a little bit just because it's the opener and burn some old gas, I could come right out here and sit. And I'd be pretty doggone confident. Look at this guy coming in. That's a better fish. Come on, man. There's a bunch of them, though, too, so I don't know. Come up. Come on. He's looking at it. There he goes. Okay, fine. I know what you're saying. You moved it, that's why you took off. Well, that's fine. If that's what he wants to do, fine. Fine. All right, 10:02. Please subscribe to the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel. And click like on this video, please. And click that notification bell so if we do some more, you'll know when they're coming. And if you can't watch them live, I get them right back up on Facebook. You can watch it. Give me